All right, good evening and welcome to tonight's public comment meeting for our Community Development Block Grant. This is part of our annual action plan for fiscal year 23-24. My name is Megan Mosley. I'm here with the county's grants department, and I'm joined tonight by Gabrielle Gunn with our Community and Social Services department. So I will let Gabrielle kick it off with how the meeting's going to operate tonight.
Okay, so we have a few group agreements that we're going to go over today. We have be hard on the issue, not the person, keep an open mind, make space for everyone, and one person speaks at a time. So we're going to start with one question, and the first question today that we're going to discuss is what qualities make up a vibrant neighborhood community? And so we're going to just spout off a couple of questions or answers. If I write something down that doesn't accurately say what you want it to say, please make sure you let me know so I can accurately put down the information it is what you are wanting to portray. And then we will lead into our second question of the evening after we get done with this first one.
And just one note, we are recording tonight's meeting, so if you would like to answer a question and provide feedback, please just raise your paddle with your name on it and we'll know to pass the mic your way. So first question, what qualities make up a vibrant neighborhood or community? Because that's really the intent of CDBG funding, is improving the low to moderate income areas of the county. So any public comment on this question? Just raise your paddle and we will pass the mic. All right, Carrie.
So I would say affordable housing, quality affordable housing.
Well,
So I would say like safety, green spaces. I'm leaving it up.
All right. Any other comment?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was writing down green spaces as you mentioned that one. But I think just in general, spaces for people to go exist, like outside of their home, outside of their work, to have that other area that they can go to. I think that makes a neighborhood more communal.
So would you say like a community center or something different?
It could be. It could be a park. It can be green spaces. It can be the library. It can, just anywhere that you can go, or that can even be like shops and food and, whatever it is that people go do. I think it's called a second space is like the term for that thing, but just somewhere to go. But yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, and yet like all the other three things I think are spot on. Affordable housing is a huge part of it. Safety obviously, but yeah.
All right, thank you. And these questions are really designed to help get at the heart of CDBG funding, make sure that our projects are meeting some of these bigger needs. If there are very specific projects or areas of the county that you would like us to do any research on whether or not they're CDBG eligible, we do have some written public comment forms on each table. So please go ahead and fill those out if you want us to follow up, include your contact information. But either way, county staff will take a look and see if those projects are eligible for inclusion in the plan. So now we're going to move on to our second question, which again also relates back to our proposed annual action plan budget. So the second question is, what kind of neighborhood infrastructure needs to be implemented to create a safe living environment? So when you think about the infrastructure components that make up a neighborhood, what comes to mind? Maybe?
So I know here in High Ridge that we would say that our roads need significant help.
be more specific with what you mean by roads.
So, you mean like what kind of improvements or?
Are they asphalt, they dirt,
No,
road?
so we have 20 miles of dirt roads in our neighborhood, unmaintained. And with the weather, the way it's been the last couple of weeks, I've received several messages about people driving through massive puddles and cars being overtaken by water and, you know, that kind of thing. But I would also say we don't really have sidewalks. The lighting in the neighborhood is poor. I'm gonna pass to Michael on this.
I would also add, as a safety thing, is the cell phone and internet service. If you get stuck in it, for example, you get stuck on the road there, and your car gets overtaken with water, it'd be nice to call the ambulance or a tow truck to come get you. So that's an important piece.
Okay.
All right. So if no further comment, this will wrap up our second question. Final thing we wanted to do tonight was give you a quick overview of the budget that we're looking at for fiscal year 24. There is a copy of the draft annual action plan on each table, so you're welcome to take a look at that. If you want to take a copy with you, that's fine. It's also published on the county's website. It's available in each of the public libraries, so the public can request copies to review and submit comment that way as well. But high-level overview of the budget, our allocation for our fiscal year 24 is $1,020,627. Currently, we have a little less than 10% budgeted for administration costs, so that's just county staff time and working with HUD and putting the projects together, and then running each of these budget areas. So that is not reflected up on the board here. But the three main categories we wanted public feedback on are our housing rehab program. So this is our minor home repair program for low to moderate income homeowners in the county. Our second program relates to code enforcement. So these have primarily been community cleanup projects that Community Services Division has assisted with. And then finally, infrastructure for neighborhood improvements. So this was our largest budgeted activity, $523,450. This is based on the feedback we received last year. There seemed to be a strong community desire for infrastructure dollars to go back into these neighborhoods. So with these three budget categories in mind, what we would like tonight is we have stickers labeled 1, 2, and 3 on your table. So if you could take just a few minutes, we'll move the budget closer to you all. But go ahead and use those numbered stickers to rate or rank which budget category you think is most important to which one you would say is least important. So we're just doing a 1, 2, 3 ranking of each of these categories. So we'll give you a few minutes to do that, and then we can reconvene for some close-up. Okay, so based on tonight's public input, it looks like unanimously infrastructure is our #1 ranked budget category, followed by the housing rehab program, and then followed by code enforcement. So before we move on from budget, are there any other questions in the budget, any other activities you wanted to bring up or comment on? Gabrielle is making some notes on this poster as well, so we can take those for the record if there are any.
I just looking back at the second question about or maybe it's the first question about the safety. I think a lot of that falls under infrastructure, so to me that makes sense that infrastructure covers a lot of the things we were pointing out for safety.
Yes, and based on previous public comment and the annual action plan, sidewalks were one of those infrastructure areas that really came to the top of the list as well. So you'll notice in this year's draft right now that is again a priority for next year.
What was your comment? Safety?
Just that safety pretty much ties in with all the safety points we made pretty much are infrastructure based. So.
Yeah, infrastructure supports the public safety, correct? Okay.
Can you comment on
No. So the only thing, I mean, we mentioned affordable housing. I can obviously look at that budget number and know that that's not going to necessarily be a feasible option to develop affordable housing with that budget. But is the county looking at how we can start to move in that direction, whether it's through CDBG or other pathways?
that? Can you be more specific?
So are we looking at how to increase our inventory of affordable housing? And by affordable, I mean truly like how the government defines affordable housing. I think it's like 30% of your income is what it's supposed to be. So are we looking at developing housing that's going to meet that for our lower income population?
Okay. And
If you looked at this budget and based off of these numbers, what types of projects would you like to see in some of these categories? As these are, this one was really important, this one, middle, but do you have any specific ideas for these specific categories that you'd like to see in the future?
So I think continuing to improve our housing, what's currently available as housing is a step in that direction, possibly. I think one of the challenges in High Ridge is that many of them are mobile homes, so at some point those mobile homes are it's going to be more and more difficult to keep their maintenance up. But I do think, there's certainly benefit in doing the housing rehab to increase that affordable housing inventory, quality affordable housing inventory.
anything else?
All right. Well, if there's no further comment, again, just a reminder, if you have other thoughts, you're welcome to take the written comment forms with you or share with others who are not able to come tonight. Again, this will be publicly posted through July 8th. We'll be receiving comments. We also have our CDBG at claycountygov.com email address where we've been accepting public comments. And all of this information will be incorporated and put into the July 25th Board of County Commissioners hearing presentation. And at that meeting, the Board of County Commissioners will adopt next year's annual action plan. So please keep sharing that information with those who are interested or have thoughts about how we can continue to better this program. And with no further comment, we will go ahead and wrap up. And thank you all so much for your participation tonight.